All right, what is up, guys? Welcome to episode 14-ish of the Generation 1 podcast. I'm one of your co-hosts, Ninja Deathstrike, joined as always by my two lovely other co-hosts. Why don't you guys introduce yourselves?
Agrotech.
Oh, hi.
It's Agritech, and it's me, RobotnikIsSexy.
And we also have a special guest with us today. Special guest, why don't you introduce yourself?
Well, hello there. I am Hotshock, and yeah, I'm a person, and I'm here. So, okay.
Okay.
And it's
Great introduction.
All
So today we're going to take a bit of a detour off of the standard metagame discussion, take a month or at least a couple weeks off, and we're going to be talking about a more casual topic, Nuzlockes. So that's going to be our main topic for today. But before we get to that, we have a little bit of news to cover. There's obviously been a ton of information dropping on Ruby and Sapphire since they're just a few months out. But we're just going to kind of hit the highlights of that. And we also want to talk about the World Championships, which are held this past weekend, and a certain breakout Pokemon that I don't think anyone expected. So, Robotnik, would you like to tell us about this fabulous Pokemon?
Pachirisu.
Yeah.
It was a team. I don't remember what his entire team was, and I didn't actually see the match. But he had a Gyarados and a Pachirisu, and the Pachirisu had Volt Absorb and Follow Me. And Pachirisu is actually really bulky. It has like 70, 80 defenses or something. And like, it's way more bulky than you would expect.
Yeah, and just the ability to force soak up lightning attacks, just like Gyarados set up to basically take over the game. So I believe the winner was actually from South Korea, which is cool.
Yeah.
Because I live there.
You lived there, yeah.
home
Or you lived there.
Yeah, he's been getting... Pachirisu's been getting a ton of love on all kinds of internet forums, and there's been all sorts of fan art busting out in his honor. So that's been cool to see.
into for Mega Pachirisu for ORAS.
Be cool.
Yeah, they could. I don't know. He's got to be high up on the list for someone to get a Mega. Seems like he'd be a good choice.
Well, they might just take advantage of the fad that's going on. I mean, Game Freak might take advantage of the fad and just be like, yeah, Mega.
I assume
They'll
the
make everyone
assets are already
happy for a
done by
while.
now.
Yeah, the games are pretty much done.
The game is almost gold
think
by
it's
now.
early. They have any time to add new things to it.
You never know. They're Game Freak.
Anyhow, that was today's tidbit of interesting information. We've also got, 5 new Megas since the last episode? Since
I don't
that was
remember.
approximately a year ago.
We haven't
we've
talked
got a
about...
ton.
We talked
I
about
think
the
we only
starters.
talked about the starter megas, so however many are...
Freya 5.
Mm.
So we've got Altaria, Elements. Who was the third one with that?
Mega. Did we talk about
The
Sableye?
funny?
No, we didn't
Sableye.
talk about Sableye there.
Oh.
Metagross, Lopunny. Yeah, there's a ton of Megas. So I'm just going to read off all the ones that we've gotten recently. So the most recent ones were Mega Slowbro and Mega Audino.
Oh my god.
Then we got Mega Salamence, Mega Altaria, Mega Lopunny, and before that, Mega Metagross and Mega Sableye, who I think we think we talked about
on, yeah.
Sableye.
I maybe, I don't know.
I don't
That's-
think we
I
did.
don't-
But we should have, if we didn't.
So how are we gonna
I think we should
go
assume that we
about
did.
this? Because I haven't watched the Generation 1 in a while.
So let's just pick. We're not going to go about them in detail because we've got a whole other topic to talk about today. But let's just get quick first impressions, get favorites and least favorites from the batch. Just any general thoughts you have on any of them. Agritech, why don't you go first?
Overall, I think all of them are pretty solid. aesthetically, except Slowbro. I think Slowbro, like, just one thing. I think Slowbro would look better if they just, like, laid him down. Like, just laid him down.
Are you sure? I think that would make him look worse.
No, because how the hell is he
lay him down?
How the hell is he standing up? There's no
psychic powers.
Nope. Lay him down. Lay him
with
down.
Psychic powers.
He's lazy. Lay him down. He's a sloth.
Then he'd look like a pig in a blanket, and it'd be even weirder to me.
As
Have you
opposed
noticed
to
that
an
most
ice cream
water
cone. I
Pokemon
don't.
levitate anyway. So
Anyway,
I don't
that's just
know.
my 2
You already
cents.
have an ice cream.
Yeah, a lot of people
I think the
dislike
whole
Mega
point of Mega Slowbro is how terrible he looks. So, like,
Yeah.
it was clearly intentional because he's dumb. So, like, we're just gonna make this big dumb
He
thing.
is literally
And
dumb.
Yes, like
Out
that's
of-
his thing.
Out of
So,
all of them, I think Metagross is the most terrifying because
Oh yeah, I
makes-
forgot he was even.
it makes all of his he makes him like a powerhouse, really, more than he already
yeah,
is.
he looks pretty cool.
Anyway, that's my 2 cents.
Andy, what do
Um,
you think?
What did I think?
Yep.
Like Agrotech, I think they all look really solid. My favorite is probably Salamence, just because he looks really different. And he doesn't look the way I would expect. I can't decide if he looks really bad or really good, and I guess that's why I like him a lot.
I'm gonna name mine Han Solo. 'Cause it looks like a
I
Millennium
found that
Falcon.
most of those designs where you're not sure if you like it or not almost always grow on you.
Yeah, it's definitely
So.
that kind of thing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Least favorite one?
Oh, probably Lopunny. I don't like how skinny its arms are. I'm talking aesthetically. I'm sure in game
Right.
it'll be really
That's
great.
that's all we're talking about right now.
I mean, it
I
could
don't-
feel
I
like
don't-
fish and scrappy. That's gonna be nice.
I don't like how Lopunny has like leggings now, and they're like ripped leggings, so it looks really like weird.
I wish she had more muscles, just a little bit, because she has like Adventure Time noodle arms, and they kind
Yeah.
of. But
Someone
I
on
thought I meant like
Reddit-
super buff, like Machamp. I was like,
well, not that much,
okay.
just like toned. But what were you gonna say, Matt?
someone on Reddit made the great observation that she basically evolves into a yoga mom,
Yeah.
which
That's
is a pretty apt description. So, Hotshot, how about you? What's your favorite and least favorite?
least favorite is Slowbro. Most of them look solid besides Slowbro. Favorites. Let's see here.
Cute
I like
Jeopardy.
Audino a lot because it looks a lot different.
Mhm.
Wait, what?
Yeah, I agree. Audino looks really cool, actually. It's one of the better looking megas. It doesn't have any spikes.
Let me. I don't think that's I don't think that's my favorite one though. My favorite is probably. I like Salamence a lot too. Salamence is probably my favorite outside of the fact that they actually made his limbs smaller, and his limbs are already pretty small, so he just sort of looks like, I don't know, what's an animal with like really small limbs but really big body?
A Tyrannosaurus.
A wiener dog.
Rex.
Yeah. Like
He looks
it's
like
like
neither.
it's like
They mix them together.
Well, he just has-
Tyrannosaurus wiener dog. With wings.
well, you get the point. Crescent roll wings. Anyway,
I do
so
really
you get
like
the
his
point.
wings, but you're right. His limbs are
Yeah.
very awesome.
I like how he looks
I
a
think
lot
my-
wiser now. I thought he was gonna look like fucking pissed.
Yeah, he's kind of got the spaceship head going on.
I'm telling you, it looks like the
Definitely,
Millennium
I like him
Falcon.
better than Garchomp, for sure.
I like Garchomp, actually, Mega Garchomp. Besides the chin, its chin looks kind of silly. Reminds you of the Crimson Chin
Looks
from
like,
Fairly Odd
looks like an
Parents.
Ava. His face.
I think my favorite is actually probably Audino, too, just aesthetically. I think it's the
Yeah.
most,
Really?
I don't know, like delicate looking. Like it's actually got some finesse to the design rather than just more
Yeah.
everything stacked on top of itself. I think it looks really cool. I don't know, it's weird and unique. I like that. I think
The eyes
Altaria-
bug me a little bit. It makes it a little small. Like its eyes make it looks a little sad, in my opinion.
Yeah, it does
Yeah.
have sad eyes. You're right. I think my least favorite, it might be, I don't know, Altaria. It's just kind of whatever.
Looks
It's not, nothing
Yeah,
about it.
all I did was add clouds to it. So just like
Yeah, it's just
I
got
made it
clouds.
slightly pink.
Slurpuff in the sky.
Yeah. I mean, it's not that it's a terrible design, it's just forgettable. So I think
Yeah.
all the other ones have a much more distinct look. You remember. So, all right, well, we'll talk about the Megas and all things Omega Ruby and Alpha Sapphire, or the other way.
It goes that way.
When the games come out and as they get closer. For now, we'll move into today's main topic, which is going to be Nuzlocke. So we've all done at least one, and most of us multiple Nuzlocke runs. If you guys have done them as well, I'm sure you'll be able to follow along. And if not, we're going to talk about what they are and then kind of talk about our thoughts on them. So before we get into the discussion topics, I just wanted to give a brief overview of what exactly is Nuzlocke in case any of our 12 listeners aren't familiar with the term. So Nuzlocke is a type of single-player run you can do through the games where if one of your Pokemon faints, it is dead forever and you can never use it again. So you can either release it or you have to put it into a box and you're not allowed to use it anymore. So that's the main rule of a Nuzlocke. And then there are a few additional rules and then lots and lots of variations. The other two main rules are that you can only catch the first Pokemon you see in each new route. If you miss it, you can't catch anything else. And that you must nickname all of your Pokemon so that you love them and you are sad when they die.
But a lot of times you end up hating them and are happy when they die.
Yes. Yes, sometimes that happens when you can only catch one type of thing and they're all weak to the same thing.
fire. Oh yeah, I saw that.
Yeah. So it actually started on 4chan on the Pokemon subpage or whatever they call their subsections on 4chan. Someone introduced the topic and then started a website from there. Originally, it was just called Ruby Hard Mode, but he named all of his Pokemon after characters from Lost, and the Nuzleaf that he caught was named Locke,
Oh, yeah.
so that's where the name comes from. That's why it's called Nuzlocke.
Yeah.
And that name kind of just took over. and
Everything happens for a
that's stuck ever
reason.
since. Yes. So,
That's a good
the first
explanation.
question I have for you guys is, what was the first game you Nuzlocked? So again, we'll start with Nick.
You gotta
Which
clarify.
Nick
Nick
Prime.
Prime.
Nick Prime. Agritech.
It was actually Emerald, My Cheeks and Geeks. Which I forgot about the name. Oh man. The intro that I had was too good. But yeah, Emerald, and it ended in failure.
It was a rough loss too. I remember that was a really good run.
Because I lost,
was a good-
if I
that was
wouldn't have
really
lost Electrode, I probably would have won. But
Yeah.
I
You
lost
had a
Electrode.
significant level disadvantage.
Yeah, but
and I think
Electrode
you ran out
was
of items,
faster than
yeah.
like everything. No, I wasn't item. It was just everything that I had eventually was just outclassed by Wallace. And
Yeah, I
if
don't
I-
think you were ready for Wallace.
if I had
No,
had
no.
Electrode, I would have won. And there was no going back. So
Yeah. Electrode was the hero of my Emerald run. Like, he did work. He beat Wallace on his own by... That was an epic run, but I'll say
Yeah, you
that
have to
for a
deal
little
with double team Ludicolo. That guy gives everybody trouble.
later. Yeah. Andy, how about you? What was your first run?
I did Emerald because I felt like it was kind of like a rites of passage for Pokemon YouTube channels. Everybody does Emerald randomizer Nuzlocke at some point.
So your first run was randomized?
Yeah.
I didn't know that.
oh, mine wasn't.
Actually, no,
And
that's
how
not
did it
true.
go? Did you... And that's not true?
No, it's not true. I'm wrong. My first...
Okay. It doesn't have to be first, like, recorded run.
Okay.
this would be your personal. It could be your first personal run because I know I didn't record my first one.
I recorded my first one. I forgot about it. It was my Fire Red Nuzlocke. If you look way back in my channel, you can find it. I never finished it because my hard drive died.
Oh, that's right.
It
I
was
was-
really tragic. Yeah.
I was in that run as one of your Pokemon. I forget which
Mankey.
one. That's right, Mankey. I died.
You died.
You died.
That was the one with Gargleflop, right?
Yeah. And then
Wigglytuff, the awesome Wigglytuff.
yeah, and was he the Wigglytuff? I don't remember.
He was a Wigglytuff.
I had
No.
a really
What was that Wigglytuff's name?
If
It wasn't Gargleflop. It was something else.
I
It
forget.
was a really strange name, though.
It was.
And it was an awesome Wigglytuff.
I had an awesome Wigglytuff that like soloed the game, and he was like my bro. And then my hard drive died. But Gargleflop is back in my Blue Nuzlocke, which is still alive. I just haven't added to it in like a couple months.
50 minutes of grinding, I
It's-
mean.
50 minutes of grinding. I thought it was fun.
God.
So I guess we're counting that run as a failure then, since it never finished. Though not because you lost, just for
No,
technical reasons.
I'm still gonna.
He's
finish.
gonna, I bet he'll do it.
No. Your first run.
Oh yeah, that was a failure.
The Fire Red
I
one,
would have completed it, but I lost the save, so can't really do anything about it.
Nick, Hotshot Nick, how about you?
All right. Okay. Yeah, I almost said the first one I did on YouTube. The first one I did was Soul Silver because I heard that was like I always want to do because it has like it's the longest game in the series, and my biggest memory was getting like I did like 4 ones in a row of Soul Silver, and they all ended on Bugsy for BS reasons.
Scyther.
You mind if I list off all the reasons? Because I think I remember like 3 of them, and they were all horrible, and they make me mad at Bugsy and make me hate him. He's like my least. I hate him more than Bugsy now. I mean, I hate Bugsy more than Bugsy. Whitney, yeah.
Yeah.
All right, the first one. Well, rival killed my Ghastly. I mean, no, I accidentally ran into my rival. Forgot to heal. And then my boy Totodile got murdered by like Chick Bailey because it was the ultimate sacrifice. And like I was so mad and depressed, I just like went up against. I like healed up and went up against Bugsy and stupidly lost, and that was totally my fault. The second time, I had a Ghastly. I forgot his name. I don't think I remember any of my names. And he got like 18 million crits with like aerial. I don't know. He doesn't learn aerial ace. Like U-turn on like my only resist, and like totally destroyed Ghastly, and like everything else died to like U-turn, and that was pretty bad. The worst one, however, was my modest Geodude. It used Rock Throw, didn't kill him 1 hit, critical hit U-turn, bam. Then I used Bite on it with like my like Totodile, and it still didn't kill it, and I was like more furious than furious. And I forgot the 4th one, but I'm pretty sure it was pretty bad.
Yeah, Bugsy can be bad.
Modest Geodude fails at life.
Mine was Platinum. I think I didn't record it, and it actually like it was the first one I started, but weirdly it wasn't the first one I finished. Like I got up to Team Galactic's hideout, and my Togekiss, who had been the backbone of my team, got crit axed by a Crobat. Like it missed a move. It missed Fury Cutter 3 or 4 times in a row, and then got crit by Air Slash and flinched and then died. It was the worst. Like I got so angry and upset that I actually had to put the game down. And I did
Fury Cutter on a Togekiss?
Air Slash.
Oh, wait, what used Fury Cutter on then?
I didn't. Fury Cutter wasn't involved. Air Slash.
He missed
So I got so upset that I had to put the game down, and I actually completed another run in the time that it took me to be able to get the heart to pick that game back up and finish it. but it did eventually beat it, just without Togekiss, which made me sad.
Togesmooch.
Next question. What is the hardest game you've successfully Nuzlocked? So this means you need a win.
Oh, does the one I'm doing now count?
You could probably count it.
Because
I will count it, even though you're not finished. You're still alive,
I
so...
seriously have had someone die. I think every episode is the last one. Like...
So why don't you
You're
tell
doing
us
Blade
what game
Platinum,
it is?
right?
Yeah, but it's a randomizer, so it's just ridiculous. It's a bloody platinum randomizer. I don't think I have anyone.
And do you want to explain the whole randomizer thing?
Oh yeah,
just in
because
case
I do everything. I don't do just a normal randomizer. I'm in it for the chaos.
Jesus.
It's so everything like all the encounters are random, which includes the dark legendaries of bloody platinum, which the levels, thank God, are not intact. So like it doesn't have the level 100s. I don't think I haven't come across one. If I do, I'm just gonna rage quit.
One level 100 Caterpie.
No, they have scripted, or not scripted, but there's like a 1% chance that you can encounter a level 100 like Dialga for whatever reason. Anyway, so all the moves that my Pokemon and enemy Pokemon know are randomized. All the items on the ground are randomized, except TMs or except HMs, so that you can obviously progress through the game. All the TMs are randomized, so what I get from gym leaders is not necessarily going to be beneficial.
Didn't you get
Tail Whip?
I did
totally got Tail Whip.
I got Tail Whip and Leer back to back.
I know. I remember you getting Tail Whip from Berg.
Maybe. I don't know if it was this. I don't know if it was in this run, because I don't remember having Tail Whip in this run. It might have been White 2. White 2 was pretty hard, too.
One of my favorite little nuggets of the Chaos Lock is that all the trainer titles and names are randomized.
Oh, right.
So
Oh, man, that was
you get
great.
some really great ones there.
I forget what Team Galactic is something funny. I can't remember what it is. I haven't fought them in a while. Team Plasma was like Dancers or something like that, and it was just like you're challenged by Dancer Grunt or whatever. Like,
I still remember your really, really OP Tail Glow Simple Blastoise.
yeah, I think he died though. Yeah, Donatello. Yeah, he died.
Everything's done.
Yeah, you think something with that firepower won't die, like, ever.
No,
That's what they all
Alice
think.
the Amoongus was the crux of my team, and then
Oh,
she
yes.
died.
I remember.
I was in there. I remember that. Didn't like the Dragon Gym Leader, wasn't his trainer title like Little Girl or something?
I can't remember.
It was something like that.
That one was really fun. Like,
Yeah, that was a good one.
it was very difficult in the beginning, but once I started getting like momentum, it became less difficult. The one that I'm doing now, though, it's just been. I mean, I don't even know what gym leader I'm on. I had to spend like a good 2 hours grinding, and I finally got Haunter to be Gengar, and it actually learned Sludge Bomb, which is like too good.
That's,
But it had. Oh yeah, its ability is Illuminate though, so that's kind of. But yeah.
Andy, your most difficult successfully completed Nuzlocke?
gosh, I don't think. Well, probably Fire Red again, because I had a lot of trouble with Koga. He killed my entire team.
He killed me.
He killed you.
Didn't he just blow up? Like, all of his things just immediately blew up and killed all of your things.
I
That's how remember
usually
the battle.
overlevel a lot, which is kind of boring for Nuzlocke, but it's a habit I have for playing.
50 minutes.
Yeah. I have an hour episode in my blue where I just grind and talk shit.
She's bored.
Yeah. But yeah, Koga just destroyed me, and then I had to rebuild my team, and I did that, and it was really cool. Oh, and then there was The gym, the psychic lady gym. Can't remember. I'm forgetting her name.
Sabrina.
Sabrina. Yeah. There was a Destiny bond, Ghastly, that killed my slow bro. That made me really mad. I was like, really?
Wait. I have a question. How exactly does Destiny Bond work? Because doesn't it happen like if you're slower, you won't be affected? If wait, never mind. I got confused.
No,
now.
it lasts until the user moves again.
Okay. Yeah.
Yeah. So it can get you from either.
Yeah.
Right. Hotshot, how about your most difficult completed run?
Well, the thing is, I don't have a completed run. I died in all of them.
Oh, sweet. So how about your most difficult failure then?
Well, let me think.
What's the most difficult game you've attempted?
Well, let me think here. I've done like, well, there were a couple. Hardest one, considering I never got past Buggy and Soul Silver, and I have like an ongoing Black Nuzlocke that I keep forgetting to complete, like not recorded, but that's like the hardest one because I can't get past the second gym leader because I'm a nub.
Sad.
I think mine would probably be Fire Red Omega. I lost like upwards of 20 guys in that one, mostly just because I didn't feel like putting the hours of grinding into it, so I was underleveled for the majority of it. And the gym leaders having 6 Pokemon apiece was brutal. Because you just, eventually your guys are just weak and you have nothing to switch into, and then they start dying, and it gets really hard. So I lost like 22 Pokemon in that one, I think, by the time I beat it. Giovanni was incredibly hard, too. He wiped me once. It was just really, really hard run, and I didn't put the effort into it that I should have, so that made it even worse. Luckily, I didn't record that one. I don't think I would have finished if I was recording. Follow-up to that one, what was your favorite run? Either it could be a success or a failure, but if you want to tell us what your favorite one was and maybe give us a quick story or two about what happened that made you like it so much. Nick, if you want to start again.
Probably White 2, just because of the shenanigans. There were a lot of them.
This was your first randomized run, right?
Yeah, no, Heart Gold was randomized.
Okay.
I beat Heart Gold, and apparently 3 weeks after I finished Heart Gold and was into my next one, everyone was like, why don't you do Red? Do Red. And I'm like, I was just so done with Heart Gold because it was so long. You know?
Yeah.
And I didn't want to go back to it. But, White 2 was just... I just liked how... The one thing I liked about it the most was the ability to reteach TMs. Because, like, the TMs were just...
Yeah,
some of them were so good.
So huge.
Like, I had Fusion Flare as a TM, and, like, everything could land it. So I'm like, okay, why not? The most strong fire attack, generic fire attack. If you could teach Fusion Flare to anything other than... Besides, if you could teach Fusion Flare instead of Fire Blast, would you?
Yeah. Sure. Yeah.
I mean, it does like base 100, I think, right? And 100 accuracy.
Sure it is.
The accuracy is the clincher.
And you get Bolt Strike. I think you got Bolt Strike at one point.
I think I think someone just had it, but I don't think it was a TM. Also, I think
Any standout team members from that run?
Alice, all the turtles were good.
Who was?
Alice was my Amoonguss with amazing defenses and her attack, and she had sky uppercut. She makes me laugh because I just think about a giant mushroom using sky uppercut.
All right.
But yeah, that's really the only person I can really remember right now that stands out. I'm sure there's others. That run was great in general.
I just remember watching some of those episodes, and you were either A, incredibly pissed the whole time because something ridiculous happened and one of your team members died, or B, just dying laughing because something ridiculous happened. Like, there's never, every episode, something great happened every episode. That was a really good run.
I do remember the worst fight in that entire thing was the stupid poison fight.
Yeah.
In which I don't remember exactly what happened, but half of her things had fire moves and killed. I almost lost it, and I was so mad. And Andy's just sitting there like, chill, like, because I was like irate at the CPU in that game. It's so annoying.
I still remember this is a recorded run, so if you check out Nick's channel, you should be able to find the whole thing if you want to watch it. If you haven't seen it yet, I highly recommend it. It's really good.
Also, Ninja Death Strike is extremely entertaining Nuzlockes, and just
I'll
like
get to my
LPs.
turn.
Yeah, but yeah.
Anything else you wanted to add, Nick, before we move on?
I do remember that the Dragon Gym fight was extremely anticlimactic.
Oh yeah.
Like,
Yes.
that's the other thing. That's about it. But yeah, it is.
I think I remember I remember you having a Barboach at the beginning and of the Black 2 Nuzlocke. I mean, Chaos Lock. And like you were hyping up the Barboach, and then you ran to a swallow out of a seed flare, and it just like destroyed it.
Yeah, and Andy called it a Barbitch, and I was mad. Because it was not. What was it? Oh yeah, it was Whiskers. Whiskers the Barboach. Nicknaming them is half the fun for me.
Yeah. All right, Andy, how about your favorite run?
My favorite one is Randomizer Emerald, because it's honestly the only one I can remember. I did Nuzlocke White 2, and I was really proud of that one.
Episode.
Yeah, I was really... It's like 65 episodes or something. It took me forever. I was
The one
proud.
that took you about a year to finish, right?
It literally took me a year to finish it.
And I was there for the clincher.
How random was your random emerald?
It was pretty random. My starter
was it
Drowsy.
God, this stupid flight.
Were all the moves randomized, like with Nick's,
No.
or
No, it's just your standard randomizer.
meaning what?
The encounters are random, but the trainers aren't random. Their titles aren't random. You know, it's just...
So basically, you could catch any Pokemon.
Yeah,
at
you
any
could catch
time.
any Pokemon at any time. So it was that kind of a randomizer.
Any
I'll be right back.
standout moments to remember from that?
Oh, I remember Solrak pretty much did everything. He was like the go-to guy. He like carried me through the game. Oh, I also remember there were a lot of explosions. There were a lot of attempts on my... I had a Charmander. You were the Charmander in that one.
I was the Charmander.
Yeah.
I was named God.
You were named God, because that was the name you
And then I
chose.
died.
And you died. Which is sad.
I don't think I've ever survived one of your runs.
You survived an explosion from like a ridge ice, and then you died from an explosion from coughing,
Epic foreshadowing.
which is... Yeah, it's funny.
This run is recorded, correct? You have this one on your YouTube
Yeah,
channel.
I have that one.
Check it out. Yeah. So we won't. I guess we don't need to spoil if you were successful or not, but I do remember that run. That was a pretty good one. Any other moments you remember from it?
I don't know. Not really. I just remember having the most fun with it because
Are you playing Emerald?
yeah, the randomizer emerald.
All I remember is Andy is a fag.
Oh right.
That's
Someone
right, the Houndour,
submitted
right?
the nickname Andy's a fag, and so I put it on the team.
And that was like your highest level Pokemon.
Yeah. I grinded that guy to like level 70 or something.
Hotshot, how about you?
Well, my favorite one is probably a Sapphire random lock because, like, I don't know, the randomizer was pretty entertaining, especially when Andy was around, and I always made like the dumbest thumbnails possible.
Yeah, the thumbnails were great.
I think one thing I remember was the ending where Flannery like pair hacks me to death, and I was probably the angriest person alive that day. Actually, I think it was like 5. Yeah, it was a day, and there was like this Feebass I caught, and like I had a nicknames list, and there was like Sar's ass, so I was like Sar's ass the Feebass, and I could never evolve. Just stupid
Right.
because I didn't understand the contest. Perhaps I already maxed out like contest. God, stupid fly. Okay. Get out of here. Okay. Okay. So, anyways, yeah, Sar's ass never evolved, and it sort of stayed in there. The death fodder. What was another one? Pretty much, like, well, it was just fun. Like, there were a lot of fun moments. Well, I don't know, it just was, like, the best moments were when Andy were with me. Otherwise, it was just kind of like, alright, it was fun.
Oh, you caught a Dragonite, like, really
Oh,
early
yeah! Striker 2. Oh, yeah! I remember the Heaven and Hell box.
on. Yeah.
And, like, you know when you, like, give up on Pokemon and you just don't want them in your party, so you spawn, like, a different box on a death box? Andy wanted me to name it the Purgatory box, but I named it the Abortion box because I'm like, this sounds similar, and I didn't know what
Sounds
Purgatory was at the time.
Purgatory. Purgatory is the same thing as abortion. You heard it here. You heard it here, folks.
Oh, I do believe.
I'm not sure. I'm going to go ahead and claim credit for this, so you guys can feel free to tell me that I'm full of crap. I'm pretty sure I invented the Heaven and Hell boxes.
You did? I don't remember.
think so.
I don't think
It's
I
in
watched
one of my
any of
books.
your Nuzlockes, so I just sort of went with it.
You should
I'm
watch
taking
them,
credit
really
for
good.
Maybe Andy implanted the
I might
idea,
have.
and it was
might
already had
Probably
been implemented.
remembered it subconsciously and then suggested it or something.
Basically,
Yeah.
Andy takes credit for other people's jokes.
Yeah.
No, I don't think it was the whole abortion was similar thing. I think I just sort of, I couldn't figure out how to spell purgatory, so I put an abortion.
Yeah, you don't want that L in there. No. I think
That was
my
the best laughs I had all
favorite
day.
I can't choose. I have 2 favorites, so I'm going to cheat. I think my 2 favorites were my Emerald Randomizer and my Blue.
Yeah, your blue
Original
is really
Blue.
solid.
They were both really good. My original Blue, I almost had a flawless game until the second to last battle with Gary, when he killed one of my Pokemon, and I got super upset, like really upset, because I spent hours training that thing, and then it died like immediately. The next actual battle I used it in was my version, and then I also had Robotnik. You were my
Pidgeot.
and this was like just vanilla Blue, like no
Yeah.
add-ons, just classic Gen 1 goodness. So I had RobotnikIsSexy as my Pidgeot, who learned Hyper Beam, and Hyper Beam is super
Pidgeot.
busted. Yeah.
I pronounce it Pidgeot too.
So he
don't
was
feel
basically MVP of the team. He slaughtered everything, and I laughed maniacally every time because it never got old.
because you don't recharge if you kill something.
Right,
And
yeah. If
also
you kill
the-
something, it doesn't have to recharge. Crits are based on speed, and
Yeah,
it
the
had
crits were
stab,
a huge
so
problem. So
he
Alakazam
just
was
always went first, always crit, and just killed them. He could run through entire teams on his own. Like, that was probably my best executed Nuzlocke as well. Like, I played really well. I was very happy with the play and how it turned out. And then the Emerald Randomizer, because I fought the first 2/3 of that game was just a constant struggle because all I could catch were ground and water types. I had like 5 or 6. That's all I could catch, and everything had a grass move. So it was just, yeah, it's so hard. And then I finally caught an Electrode. One of the, like about halfway to 2/3 of the way through the game, finally caught an Electrode, and he just carried the team to an epic battle with Wallace, the champion, where he got 6 double teams up on his Ludicolo, and I had to fight through that. So both of those really stand out in my mind as my 2 favorites.
When you played, like, there was some kind of ROM hack of Black and White where it was harder. Volt White and Blaze Black. Yeah, I really enjoyed that one. For some reason.
Yeah. I don't remember that one that well. That was one of my early ones. It's been quite a while since I've done that one. So I think that was like my first or second run.
And then I really liked when you played the trading card game, even though it wasn't a Nuzlocke.
Yeah. I want to do the second one if I ever
You need to do the second one.
I want to. I don't have as much time to record as I used to.
True.
So, it's on the short list. Like, it's the next game I'm gonna do if I get a chance. I've gotten so many requests for that, not just for you, from you. So that brings us to our second to the last question. I think the last one will be real quick, so we're getting towards the end here. The second to the last question is, what attracts you to Nuzlocking? Why do you like doing Nuzlocke runs compared to just a regular playthrough of the games? So, Nick, again, if you want to go first.
So I think the biggest thing for me is I just enjoy putting out content for people in general, and it's a good way because for me to do that because it's kind of more about my journey through the game than the actual game, which I think is in general more exciting to watch because it kind of, I don't know, the user can like identify with it a little more than just watching a playthrough of the game, I think. And it's just a lot of fun to nickname things ridiculous names and yell at a screen when something crits you, and which happens a lot.
Yes.
On moves. Oh, I'm gonna hit my Focus Blast. Okay. Oh, I'm gonna hit my Focus Blast and crit. Okay. On something that's weak to fighting. Okay.
Yeah.
I mean, yes, it's frustrating, but it's like I endure the pain so that you can enjoy it. That's basically it.
Andy, how you?
Why I do it? Didn't I answer that? I think I did.
You did, but
we're gonna do it again. Okay.
Again, because we had to do a retake. Remember?
All right. I think I'm just gonna include all of it. But anyway, yeah, as I said, it's kind of like a rite of passage. For a Pokemon YouTube channel, it's just something to do. And it's like everybody plays Randomizer Emerald, so I just, take a whack at it. It's a pretty short game, too. Like, it's way shorter than White 2 and stuff. Yeah. So I just did it to do it, but I definitely prefer battling to Nuzlockes. But it's a nice way to play the game, because Pokemon is honestly, like, really easy,
Yeah, just like a normal run through, you mean? Yeah. For me, I think it's part of it was just because I enjoyed producing content on my channel back when I had a lot more time, free time to do this kind of thing. I liked having that shared experience with other people. I also, like you said, I enjoy the challenge. The normal Pokemon games, although I love them, they're pretty mindless. I just pick my favorite guys and then destroy the game. So actually having a sense of weight to the game and consequences to how you think, I like that pressure I like just like challenging games in general, so I enjoy the fact that it makes me stop and actually think about what I'm doing and the switches I make rather than just spamming whatever move until everything's dead like I normally can.
Except when you have Pidgeot with
so
Hyper Beam.
Except when I have Pidgeot with Hyper Beam. and then I just get to laugh. And like Nick mentioned too, I do enjoy the connection that it creates with the Pokemon. I know that a lot of the nicknames that I've given Pokemon in my Nuzlocke runs have just become like the standard nicknames that I give those Pokemon now, and I use them anytime outside of that run. It really helps to define them and give them a personality. So,
Yeah.
Unfortunately, we've lost Hotshot for the moment, so if he comes back in, we'll ask him. Until then, just move on. So our final question for the day, real quick, just to wrap things up, what run would you suggest for someone who hasn't ever done a Nuzlocke run before and maybe wants to give it a try?
Well, like I think that I mean, I guess third gen is a good place to start. Even though it is difficult because of the physical and special split, in my opinion, I think that it's just harder to get used to because there are certain Pokemon that aren't usable, like pretty much at all, like Absol.
Yeah, like most of them.
Like any dark Pokemon or any ghost Pokemon. Not any ghost, but like most of them. I mean, that's just because the mechanic wasn't as fleshed out as it is now. I mean,
the move pool is shallower too.
I mean, maybe Diamond or Pearl might be a good spot to start, because those games aren't as long as Platinum. They aren't as hard as Platinum. I mean, there's a lot of Pokemon. So I think Diamond or Pearl would be a pretty safe place. A pretty safe place. It's a tongue twister to start. Unless you get Omega Ruby and Alpha Sapphire, in which case do that.
That's gonna be Nuzlocke a lot.
I think it'll probably be a pretty good one.
If only we had a 3DS emulator.
Andy, what would you suggest?
I would definitely suggest Emerald because it's like the go-to one to play. It's like the famous Ruby Nuzlocke that started all. It's nice to just do that and in the footsteps of whoever that guy was. And it's just a really fun one to Nuzlocke too. For some reason, 3rd gen is just more fun to Nuzlocke.
I actually agree completely. I'd suggest Emerald as well, or Ruby or Sapphire, but probably Emerald since it's the most refined of the three. I think a lot of it has to do with the difficulty level. It's right where it should be for...
Hello?
Without just being a cakewalk.
Can you repeat that?
The remembering.
Yeah,
other than
felt
remembering
for a second.
No, like the whole
other than
sentence.
Yeah, I'll start over. Other than remembering the physical special split that Nick mentioned, I think that third, because it just has the best overall difficulty curve for a Nuzlocke. It's like right in that sweet spot where you don't have to grind for hours on end to be competitive, but it's still going to be really challenging throughout, and especially at a couple of key points. So I think that probably makes it the best one to start with.
Yeah, I agree.
So, all right. Well, that is going to do it for this month. Hopefully, we're not going to be as long getting the next episode out to you guys. There's actually a lot of stuff going on in the metagame that needs to be talked about, but I decided that it'd be nice to take a week off, and these two were kind enough to oblige me. So,
agreed.
Yeah. Anyhow, you can look forward to lots of metagame talk next episode, as there's all kinds of stuff going on in multiple tiers that we need to cover. Please let us know how you liked this episode compared to the metagame stuff. If you guys enjoyed it, we would definitely could do some more of this style episode, and if not, we won't. So
Shout out to
make sure to
Hotshock
check out
who
had to leave
disappeared.
expectedly.
So much drama. You'll be mostly cut out of this.
Drama you guys will never know about. Not with us, though. With something else. Anyhow, that's neither here nor there.
Yeah.
Make sure you check out our YouTube channels, though, if you're interested. Like, if you think that any of the runs that we talked about sounded fun, and some of them are really great. I think that all three of us have some really entertaining Nuzlocke runs, so be sure to check for those. I know that I have mine each in a playlist, so you'll be able to go right to my channel and find the one you want. I'm not sure. Do you guys have yours organized at all?
Yeah, I do have mine organized.
Great.
Even the blue one.
I am the only
You
one
shouldn't have
currently
any-
doing one.
I'm currently doing one. It's just up in the air.
So
blue Nuzlocke.
I am the only one currently doing one.
Okay.
Anyhow,
If
that's
you
going to do it
say
for
so.
this month.
I'm just kidding.
Thanks for listening, guys,
Yeah.
and we'll talk to you next month.
Bye
Yeah.
Later.
Bye bye.
Bye.